My name is Katie, and I believe everyone has power to find and create their own happiness, and that is not all about wealth or privilege. And when you do find it, I believe that you should help others find it too. When I was younger, or when I was born to a middle-class house, not the wealthiest, but definitely more privileged than many. As a child, I grew up with almost everything I could possibly want. I never have to work a day in my life or care much of anything. Most of everything were done for me. Yet, I feel that something was missing. Despite being a middle-class house, our house was located in the middle of an old neighborhood because it was built a long time ago and no one wanted to abandon the house. It was a small but lively neighborhood. Almost everyone knew each other. Our family were well known because my grandfather was a high-ranking police officer and my grandmother was the principal at the local high school. There are also many kids my age around. I would always see kids running around, hanging out with each other, playing games. Despite knowing so many adults around the neighborhood, I don't have any friend my age. My parents sent me to a private school far away from the neighborhood and don't want me to associate myself with the kids around the neighborhood because telling me that they are bad influence. Of course, I follow what my parents said. I never did make a friend in that neighborhood. As time go by, I began to create an illusion that we are more superior. However, I feel that there's something that I lack. Fun, happiness, and appreciation. I always watch those kids playing a soccer with soda cans and play jump rope made of rubber band. However, I feel that I used to look at them and thinking, those poor children have nothing better than a can of soda to play with. But then I saw their face. Yeah, they were kicking a can of soda and playing in the mud, but they were also laughing. They looked to be sharing a good time. And suddenly, instead of pitying them, I envied them. I wonder what's so fun about that. They didn't seem to care what they have. They weren't worrying about their clothes. They weren't looking at what I have and think, oh, I wish I have that. Well, at that moment, I realized that I had assumed these kids needed my pity, but they didn't. I assumed that they were all bad for them, but they weren't, and I understood that they are happy with what they have. It made me easy for me to say so because I have all the necessity for everyday life. I have a roof over my head, a family to support me. Looking back at it now, it makes me more appreciative of what I have. But it's also teach me that it's not what you have that matters, it's how you appreciate and learn to use what you were given. Because just because people have less doesn't mean they're any less important or happy, because it never was about wealth. Now that you learn to be happy with what you have, you can start giving, because sometimes there are those who are in need, and if you could, you should start giving instead of pitying, because pity people won't make any difference. Instead, get up and start helping. It doesn't have to be anything complex. You can do anything from saying something nice to someone to brighten their day, or give a quarter to the donation box. You're probably going to toss it home anyway, so. I believe that happiness and satisfaction doesn't only come with what you have, but it comes with what you give. And that is what I learned through this journey, and that is what I believe.